so many things, but I think, like what is the ultimate focus of my journey? What is the ultimate thing that excites me? Why am I doing all these different things? Is that I think when we live up to somebody else's standards, we are not the best versions of ourselves, always. And let's not confuse that with, oh my, this is my passion, so I'm going to do this, and by doing this job, I'm killing my passion. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you don't have honest conversations with yourself and know why you're doing what you're doing, etc. It leads to a lot of unhappiness. And the second thing is, when you have great ideas and when you don't have the right resources, it is one of the saddest thing for me. Like a great idea that didn't come into light because they didn't have the right resources. I mean, to me, I still feel my father, if he had the right editor and the right assistant, he would have written such brilliant books, I feel like all the time I had all the money, I didn't spend enough to say I should have just found a great editor for him, great writer for him. And same thing with my sister who passed away recently. She had so much to give. I mean, I'm reading all the things she wrote now, and I'm amazed at how many things she was interested in and how much she did for all of us. And she lived her life like a queen. But if she just had a little bit of the right resources, she could have been so much more. And so to me, it's a talent that could have been, that didn't happen, is the saddest thing in the world. So to me, I feel my life is really dedicated to just, if there's a great thing, it should come to light. And there are sometimes I try to get people together and I'm like, you must talk to each other because I can see this company becoming big if the three of you talk, even though I don't understand the technology. And like you see them get stuck, especially, I hate it. I'm sorry for gross generalization of these men who cannot talk to each other about really what the issue is, where I can see what the issue is. Yeah. And I'm like, I call this person, I know this is what you're worried about, just ask that. And I call this person and say, I know this is what you're worried about, just ask that. And so to me, like a union that should have happened, when that doesn't happen, because it's got so many things to offer to the world, it makes me really sad. So I feel if there's one thing for me is, if you have the capability to make a difference to someone, make it, because it's the biggest thing you can contribute to the world. So we can all go toward defining success in a very different way, because we are so stuck in this narrow definition of success, which leads to the narrow definition of our personal success, which leads to the dissatisfaction. So right now we say it's only making money. How much money you have in the bank is what defines you. But really, that's not what defines you at all. Any person who was dying, you ask them, what's your greatest memory? It's always when my child was born or this. None of them said that business plan I submitted.
Right, exactly.
No
or
one.
That PowerPoint that
no
I made.
one. No one said that. So we know that, but still we spend our lives pursuing the wrong thing. So again, for me, all the wisdom comes from what I read, what I hear. So there is this quote I heard that says, life ought not to be measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the number of moments that take our breath away.
Oh,
so I started thinking about it. I said, wow, if that's true, we should be measured by how many great moments we created for others. So we should be billionaires of moments. And like the mathematician in me came out when I did this. I said, this is how you calculate the moments. Like every second, blah, blah, is like a unit. And so if I'm having 2 hours with you, that's whatever, 120 minutes times 60, that's how many seconds, that's how much moments you collected today, if you had a great time. So like this, you collect and see how long will it take for you to become a billionaire of moments. So it's kind of like, to me, we need to redefine success and say it's really about the magical moments you create for others while you're responsible for your own. I think we forget to put the oxygen mask first while we take care of everybody else. And that's something I understood very late in my life, that I have to take care of my health, my financial success, my family first before I, I'm there for the world. I've been there for the world for 20 years and not taken care of this. So now my journey is, whether I call this the show Lakshmi, or I make sure my, physicals are having regular intervals, or be in touch with my son to be somewhere close to him, or my family, talking to my sisters every morning, whatever it is. Really, like over the last 3 years after the pandemic, to me, it's really been that realization that you have to put your oxygen mask first. So for the first time in my life, I'm asking people, or I have somebody else negotiate for me, this is how much you have to pay her. Like, I never did that before. I never asked for my worth before. And I'm learning it now. So I think it's never too late to learn. And if there's one thing I want people to remember, one phrase I want them to remember, is billionaires of moments. I think we should all redefine success. And so